Life, they say, is in faces, and men, they say, are in sizes. Yes, this is why we're welcoming you into another beautiful edition of your program, our program, the newspaper review program, right here on News Poster NGTV. How you doing? How's your day going? Yes, of course, it's Lagos, and you will definitely accept with me today that the weather is quite cozy, and everyone is going about their day-to-day activities the way it should be. I hope you're having your day going well. Yes, let's give you the news making their ways to our national dailies right here in Nigeria. My name is Olayinka Olatunji, saying many thanks for joining us this morning. Of course, I am not alone. I'm with my partner in progress.
Good day,
I
Olayinka.
just hope that someday very soon you just give me a visa. Maybe when the Lekki airports, stuff is ready.
Definitely, definitely,
I need to go
definitely.
out of Nigeria.
You are looking good this morning,
Maybe
even
on a
with your spec.
vacation. Oh my god.
Ah, ah.
I'm practicing how to be an Oyibo person.
Don't worry. Anytime soon. Let just keep it like that. It's a beautiful day to everyone watching us across the continent, all over where you are watching us right now. We say have a good day and just feel relaxed, feel good where you are. Don't be bored at all. As we bring you to your fingertips, as it is happening all over our daily newspapers across Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to the program.
All right, with me this morning, I have the Punch newspaper, the Nation newspaper, and most definitely, we will be talking business on the Business Day paper. Looking at the Punch newspaper this morning, presidential fleet funding raises to 81 billion under Buhari. You can find that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
And also with me from the Guardian newspaper, I have how military corrupts NNPC officials, others steal Nigerian oil wealth by Clark.
And for those of you who love small chops, some of you who like to take refreshments, a budget for ASUU Villa refreshments shoots up, jumps to 2 billion naira. This is, of course, to say that for the refreshments in ASUU Villa, they now spend 2 billion naira.
I must be sincere and be honest with you. Looking at the value of that money you just mentioned, 2 billion.
For refreshments.
Not even million naira.
You want to take soda, you want small chops, maybe pop and
In fact, I didn't even know how to explain because it's quite alarming and it's quite in fact, let's just cut that side.
I feel like we can move our things down to Aston Villa because the money for the refreshment is even enough.
If money for refreshments rose to the 2 billion naira, now tell me what happens to other expenditures that will cut across the sections at the villa.
Like the breakfast, lunch, and dinner fee. We'll find out.
Nigerians are not getting it right yet. Also with me here from the News Direct, I will rule out banditry. Hand over peaceful Nigeria in 2023, says Buhari.
Nigeria over borrowing to fund non-essential items, says Don.
I must be sincere with you. Yesterday, it was a colorful atmosphere at the villa in Abuja, where her President Muhammadu Buhari, converged with all social amenities and, in fact, CEOs, security apparatus, security chiefs were all given an honor yesterday with an excellent performance in their day-to-day activities, especially the IGP, Inspector General of Police, Alkali Baba, and the Nigerian Immigration Service boss, that's Jerry Idris. All of them. In fact, even our own Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Commandant General was also there, including Ahmed Ali, that happens to be the Nigerian Customs Controller General, was also converged at the villa yesterday. 499 were there yesterday. Yes, even including Oni of Ife.
And K1, the ultimate.
In fact, those details of the story can be found on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper this morning.
And still on the Punch newspaper, you have President fails to upload pledge to reduce aircrafts.
Stop blame games. Campaign with Buhari's record. PDP tell ruling parties.
And the story making its way on page 25 of the Punch newspaper says ASUU awaits Buhari, no work, no pay, holds neck meeting.
In another development, it's an interesting story here from the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Lagos received Lekki airport approval from the federal government.
And I'm saying that maybe if I'm going on a vacation, probably to the Bahamas, they are just going to, now let's
actually, this is happening for the first time in history.
Definitely.
For a state to have two international airports. Not even even FCT has only Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. But Lagos being an economy centered of Nigeria, where the largest economy ravaging the country is coming in both inflow and outflow, I think is one of the reasons why Lagos State is being honored to have been given an approval.
And I feel like, the issue of traffic in Lagos is something else where you see even people coming from the island jumping on bikes to catch up their flight. Some people at the end of the day do not even make up the flight time.
Well, to some extent, I totally agree with you. People living within the axis of Abraham Adesanya, Lakwe, Ekpe, and the VGC, fine. It's quite understanding sometimes when you have to board by 4 p.m. in the evening, and you are leaving house as at probably let's say 2 p.m. And on the norm, you must be at the airport to oversee all your luggages, all your belongings ahead of your time before you your flight kickstart and
I
keep
feel
moving.
like the federal government can also extend this hand of gesture to some states like Kogi State who don't or doesn't even have a local, airports. You want to travel internationally or locally now, you have to travel by road down to Abuja or you come down to Lagos and it's so hectic.
To be sincere, it's a plus to Lagos State government for them to have such huge facility within their domain. And on this note, we seize the opportunity to urge the federal government to extend, like my colleague have said earlier, to other neighboring states such as Ogun State, Oyo State. No, Oyo State has an airport, but it thinks it's a local airport. Oyo State and Osun, precisely Ekiti, Kogi, and others like that, so that all states, all 36 states, including the FCT, can easily enjoy the dividends of the democracy.
Most people don't have the opportunity to have a private jet, if you know what I mean. Okay, Obi unveils campaign team today. Ohaneze louds Afenifere. This is coming from page 58 of the Punch newspaper.
Lawyer describes inclusion of education minister in honor list as scandalous.
And Lagos developer defrauds 200 house seekers. Victims blames police. When I saw this headline, I feel like, why do people always line up for houses in Lagos? Sometimes this house is under development. It's been given to a developer. Now you feel like the developer will tell you that this house will be ready in another 4 months. Don't worry, just pay. You pay upfront, and when the house is ready, you can take a room. At 200.
Looking from the perspective of the volume of people trooping in and out of Lagos on daily basis, is quite alarming. That's why on this note, I give kudos to the security apparatus, especially the Nigerian police force, that has to see with the borders and coupled with the Nigerian Immigration Service. Even Kara here at our stone throw, looking at the volume of vehicles coming into Lagos on daily basis, my dear, coupled with the passengers that are inside those buses, I must be sincere, by statistics revealed from authentic source that more than 100,000 people enters in and out of Lagos on daily basis.
Oh my God.
To tell you, the people of Lagos, volume of people living within Lagos are even much more than the state itself.
Wow. All right, Osinachi's husband accused Osinachi's husband abused her. A singer's ex-employee tells court. Of course, the late Osinachi's case is still in court, and a witness has come up to say that it is true that her husband usually abuses and, of course, beats her. This is coming from page 11 of the Punch newspaper.
Economic recovery. Ogun government sent to disburse 1 billion to grant SMEs.
Okay, talking of budget, talking of money, Obajana accusation followed due process, says Dangote. This is on page 40 of the Punch newspaper.
Why we acquired Sheraton Hotel, NIMCO. Details of that story can be found on the page 23 of the News Arrest newspaper this morning.
And as flood is taking its pace in our Nigerian society and communities, flood kills 500, injures 1,546, says federal government. And if you can have the number of people that flood has killed and the number of people that have been injured in flood, with the incessant rain and all, what is the federal government doing about this flood? Because when you go on social media and you see people, places like Bayelsa, you see places like Kogi, places like Edo State. In fact, you will just, if you're in Lagos State, you just be grateful to God.
And on this note, I sincerely also appreciate the efforts of the National Emergency Management Agency, that's NEMA, for the quick and intervention of all these quick response of impromptu calls they received from the citizens across the nation. Looking at the flood, it's something that ravaged Nigeria. As we speak right now, is a lot of places that we have bad roads. Rehabilitation of road are still ongoing under this administration. And Nigeria is large. Let's be sincere. Nigeria is large. When you talk of wideness, elasticity, population, and all of that, landmark, in quotes, Nigeria is, in fact, Nigeria is massive.
Did you see the clip? I don't know if I saw it from you, the clip of a certain man who drowned around Abulegba.
Yes. I posted something of such recently, because looking at that video clips, it's so embarrassing. And what I would just say is just that, well, to some extent, government are trying their capability and ability to ensure all these things are brought to book. But nevertheless, we citizens, we also have our rights and our roles to play, in the sense that dumping of refuse and all leakages and all this sachet water on the drainage waterways. All these things need to be cleaned at all time, because if rain falls, water must pave way. There is no how. You can't stop water not to move. It's unstoppable. So, and we are seizing this opportunity to also sensitize the general public to always maintain all the jurisdiction, all their domain, in terms of keeping the refuse and bottles, kegs intact, so as not to block the waterways.
All right, as 2023 general election draws closer, I hope you know that in Nigeria it is an offense to have double registration of the voters card, because right now INEC has deleted about 2.7 million for double registration. This is coming from page 25 of the Punch newspaper.
And I also have a contrary news that also contributed to what you have just said now. Telecom infrastructure critical to successful 23 general election. That's coming from Dambata. Looking at the story you just read and compared to what News Direct newspaper was saying this morning, it's an offense for you to have a double registration on INEC portal, because that's why I'm so worried when INEC says presidential election will be conducted manually, not electronically. If INEC could conduct governorship election in Osun State electronically, what makes them not to have conducted presidential election come 2023 electronically? Because there is a lot of agitation upon all those these things we just mentioned by the other parties agitating for their own candidates. For we to have a free and fair election in this country, I believe something reasonable and something faster needs to be done to tackle all sorts of matter arising ahead of this 2023 general election.
And talking about matters arising right now on the nation's newspaper, I'll leave a secure country, Buhari assures Nigeria. And still on the front page of the nation newspaper, we have Oyo Assembly kicks over EFCC's invitation to members.
That also draws my attention to the just recent immediate what's it called? The Speaker of Ogun State.
Okay.
That was just being apprehended at the Lagos International Airport, as the Military International Airport, which was transferred with immediate effect to Abuja for more investigation and interrogation, whereby he's going to face the consequence and the panel before the Economic Financial Crime Commission officers. I think there are some needs for Nigerians to always honor whatsoever invitations given to them, either by a parastatal agency or any commission.
I feel like a clear conscience has fears no accusation. If you don't have a skeleton in your cupboard, why would you be invited for questioning and you begin to run around like a civil thief?
Yeah, it's part of what I just also mentioned that I could see no reason why for them to alleging or disclaiming the invitations given to them for them to have appeared before the EFCC. And moving ahead, Afenifere condemns kidnap kingpin in Southwest and others.
Strike. How House of Rep blockade trials between federal government and ASUU. And also on the front page of the nation's newspaper, IMF cuts Nigeria's economic growth to 3.2%.
Stakeholders task government on girls' child rights. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has been urged to give maximum protection to the girls' child. The advice was given yesterday by the district chairman of the Inner World District 912, Olushola Ashikpa, during the 2022 International Day of Girl Child, organized by the Inner World District 912 for school at Isolo Community Hall. She said, "We are all using this opportunity to call on government to be organizing symposium with a view to eradicating factors that causes girl child to be looked down on, and as well eradicate rape. The government should do in such a way that girl child will be saved from every form of harassment." And I believe that's an interesting story, so as to curb the spread of rape, defilement, and sexual harassment.
Yesterday was actually the International Girl Day, where the girl child is being celebrated. And we saw some schools in Lagos that their girl child had, was wearing pink, they were dressed and fashioned in the pink color. I'm talking about the International Girl Child. I feel like it's not it's more or less like the clamor for equality. It's not like the girl child really wants to be equal with the man, but in as much as the male gender is giving a listening ear, I feel like some of the challenges facing the girl child, should also be paying attention to in Nigeria. And when you're talking about a teenager, she, buys herself sanitary pads. There are different things that a girl child, mentally, emotionally, physically, that a girl child goes through, and she doesn't even have someone to call to. I feel like if we open our ears, our eyes down, for the girl child, we're like the weaker vessel.
And I must be sincere with you, looking at that International Day for the Girl Child, if you start deliberating on it now, believe you me, it will be very, very complex. Because looking at it from the different dimension, different opinion, different perspective, a girl child needs to be taken care of in all ramifications. There is no dispute, no two ways. Because girl child, like we said, like this proverb said, use what you have to possess what you need. That's why a girl child needs to be given more attention. Parents, we are seizing this opportunity to let you understand why our girl child is very much paramount, very much, very much important in all ways, so as to meet up their need and their mandate.
All right, before we shut down, let's talk business a little. As the business day paper says that private equity investors chase fast-growing businesses to edge FX inflation risk. And Oxford professor says elite concessions are the key to Nigerians' development. We also have here Flutterways Agbola Obie, Elumelu amongst private sectors, national honors recipients. Lagos gets federal government's law for the Lekki International
And that's to tell you that
Airport.
a lot needs to be done in the private sector, either in the or in the government sector, either state or local level or the federal level.
I feel like
Because a lot of people that was being honored yesterday, in fact, majority of them
did not even
did
see
not
it
even
coming.
at all, to tell you that hard work
Whatever you do,
always been
pays way
dedicated and
for
committed.
you.
In fact, it won't be the day when you started, but later on, someone hidden somewhere will always recognize your effort, your input, your impact in whatever you do.
Sometimes people say, na lie, na lie. And other times, other people say, when a lie has stopped to being a lie, you get to see the truth. This is a saying that goes to help all people out there. Whatever it is that you're doing, do well to do it well because you don't know who is watching. You don't know who is paying attention, whether you're in the private sector or you're in the public sector. Whatever you must do at all, whatever is worth doing at all, is worth doing well. This is definitely where we'll be drawing the curtains for our newspaper review program this morning on News Poster NGTV. I hope you had fun. Yes, we don't have much time in our plates today, but we'll definitely come back tomorrow to see what's going on in our national dailies. I want to say that as Nigeria is, rounding up for campaigns and everyone is going about their day-to-day activities, youths, do not let yourself to be used as instruments for destruction because soldier go, soldier come. Barack remains the same. If we destroy Nigeria, there's nowhere else that we can go. My name is Olayinka Olatunji saying many thanks for being a part of the program this morning. Have yourself a wonderful day ahead. Bye for now.
And also from me here, I join my colleague in advising the general public, especially the youth, that always remember kind of person whom you are, and don't also forget the kind of home whom you belong to. Politicians, the majority of their children are abroad, schooling, having conducive environment, enjoying the facilities, having all it takes for human to sustain his or her life. Please watch and don't be used, like my colleague have said earlier, as an instrument of a destroyer to the nation. I remain my humble self, Isaac Habayomi Hajiboye, saying, keep watching, stay tuned till we meet the same time, same station tomorrow. And please don't forget to share your opinion, your perspective. Let's hear from you. And don't forget to also subscribe to our channel, your channel,